Philosophical questions. If a tree falls and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? If light breaks over the horizon but no one was awake to see it, does the sun actually rise? Dig this. If racism is happening, but there are no racists around to claim it, does oppression still occur? The answer is yes. Asterisks unless you can assemble a jury to say something different, unless you can prove that you were just following protocol, unless you can persuade the public that the deceased was a degenerate, if you can validate a fallacy, fabricating full sentences to the antithesis of freedom, if you can weave common belief into string strong enough to hold a body, if you can make a noose with enough leverage to uphold the weight of your innocence, then your insolence can be forgiven. Philosophical questions. If a Black body falls and all lives matter, why is there never justice for the victim? See, if you don't see color, can't you differentiate shade? Can't you tell that they're Black? That the judge, jury, and shooter are all the same shade? That the hoods are all the same? That everybody is watching while the value of a Black body hangs in the balance? But see, I get it. You're not racist. You're not a part of this problem, right? You're just bystanding. And as long as you can plead your case face to face with sound logic, logically deflecting, defending your position with enough ammunition, you can defeat your opposition. And I'm like, damn, it must be nice to have time to explain yourself. It must be nice to be living during your trial. It must be nice to believe that racism is dead because it's not knocking at your front door. What if we admitted that racism was still living? That hoods and nooses became segregation for school kids, became redlining agreements, became Tuskegee experiments, became war on drugs and jail time, became school to prison pipeline, became prison industrial complex, became slavery's new context, became Trayvon Martin, which became ironic because see, he became iconic for not living to see his 18th birthday. See, he was deemed suspicious for wearing a hood in his hood while the neighborhood watched him lay lifeless. How do you explain what life is to a young Black boy constantly watching himself lynched on the 7 o'clock news? How do you break the news? That they tried to give him a noose. That there is no reprieve if a public servant can trade his life in for paid administrative leave. See, racism did not leave. It evolved. And tonight, it'll become the comments that flood this video on Facebook while the value of Black bodies are still hanging in the balance, while the value of my Black body still hangs in the balance. Why is it that Black bodies never seem to find balance? What is balance? When you're the only Black boy in the classroom, the only Black body in the boardroom, the only Black face at a police stop, the only soul that has slavery running through its bloodlines, this is what it feels like to be taught history that doesn't involve you. To be silenced into subordinates, to put your hands up and surrender and still get gunned down. This is what it feels like when they've sold your bloodlines, when your body has been reduced to the cost of ammunition. Pay attention. This is the same old story with the same old rope, just a new day, just a new stage, just a new hashtag, just a new grave with just the same saying. If only he complied. But if only we realized, America, that you can't socialize people to be strong and criminalize them for standing if they've done nothing wrong. Philosophical question. When will it be publicly acceptable to claim that my life matters? That our lives matter? That these Black lives, these Black bodies, these Black souls matter? Because see, racism is living while hundreds of Black bodies last year alone are not. But don't be mad at statistics if you're the one tying the knot. And don't be mad that I said that if you tend to sit and watch, so you're content with what you're saying. I'm angry at what you're not. You say racism is interpersonal and just happens sporadically. I say racism is institutional and happens systematically. But you excuse yourself from the problem like it'll go away magically. But see, it lives in your silence and manifests in my tragedies. See, racism no longer needs racists to exist. It needs well-meaning people to sound like this, to be silent, to claim audience, to be bystander, while the value of Black bodies are still hanging in the balance. Philosophical question. If you are silent in the face of injustice, are you standing on the side of the oppressor? The answer is always yes.